We're about to get started. So again, welcome everyone who's joined us today. Thank you so much for taking the time. We are about to get the show on the road, but before we actually hand it over to Ken, a few, let's say, housekeeping rules and also an introduction to SCORE. For anyone who's new to SCORE, by the way, my name's Tom LaHood. I'm based in Sarasota County. I'm part of the Education Committee that serves Sarasota and Minnesota counties as part of the SCORE chapter, the Minnesota SCORE chapter. Today's topic, boost your business, attract and retain customers, will be delivered by Ken Countess. Thank you, Ken, for returning and being a guest on one of our webinar topics. We deeply appreciate that. For our participants today, the program will be recorded, and also a replay link will be sent to you so that you'll be able to review what you've seen today, along with a copy of the presentation. For anyone who's new to SCORE, welcome. Thank you for being here today. Anyone who's not aware of our mission, this is something that we share with every participant in all of our webinars. So if you participated in webinars in the past, you may have seen this before, but very briefly, SCORE provides small businesses with free confidential mentoring, whether it be in person or online, and business educational services, as you are seeing today. SCORE is nationwide, across the nation. We hold multiple workshops and provide online resources to more than 300 chapters that include more than 10,000 volunteers. We call them mentors. You may have had a chance to work with a mentor who helped you either with a part of your business startup process or business growth. SCORE has been around for more than 50 years and also serves more than 11 million customers and clients across the country. For anyone who's worked with SCORE, even if you're new to SCORE, we're not just part of the startup process. SCORE provides you coaching and support throughout multiple stages, including the growth stage, which is critical to your business success. So if you're looking to not only start and launch a business, but grow an existing business, even if you're thinking of exiting and selling or closing a business, we can also help and support that entire process. So the team of volunteers available to you through this chapter will help you stay motivated and focused on your business journey. Some of our sponsors are very important for us to acknowledge the effort. That is a combination of what they help us do and how they also help us with our programs and supporting our clients. You may recognize many of those that are local to Manatee and Sarasota counties, including BayFirst, Bank of America, Bank United, TD Bank, and of course, the Small Business Administration. We thank our sponsors for making this program possible today. And also for anyone who's interested, if you are looking to gain more information about the chapter, of course, here's our website, score.org/Minnesota. You can definitely request a mentor in this case. And then you can fill out a form, and then we will be in touch to learn more about your needs and also help you along with a mentor who's a subject matter expert. And then at the very end of our program, we will hold some time for questions. Ken will help us with those questions. Please feel free to submit them via the chat window. We will try to take care of them as we go or towards the end of the program. And now it's my pleasure to take a moment to introduce our guest speaker, Ken Countess. Thank you so much, Ken, again for returning. Ken is an internationally recognized, accredited expert on email marketing and other marketing topics. He's an award-winning marketer and business coach and has been one of Constant Contact's top worldwide trainers for over a decade. Over this career, Ken launched many successful multi-million-dollar products and services for 4 Fortune 100 companies. Ken is known for making complex topics easy to understand, and he's a regular speaker and presenter at many conventions and trade shows, including multiple SCORE chapters here in Florida. Ken has helped over 10,000 businesses learn best practices in digital marketing. One of his clients recently grew her sales more than 10 times, tenfold in under 1 year with what Ken had taught her about email marketing. Ken is the host of Everything Email podcast and a frequent presenter for chambers of commerce, of course, SCORE chapters, small business development centers, trade associations, and many other organizations. Ken, it's our pleasure to have you again. I'll yield to you. Please start the presentation.
All right. Thank you so much, Tom. And it's great to be with everybody today. If you're watching live and you're on the East Coast, good afternoon. Weekend's right around the corner. And if you're watching, if you're somewhere else in the US in a central or mountain or Pacific time zone, good morning to you. The weekend's not too far away for you either. And if you're watching the replay, hello and welcome. Glad you took time to take a look at what we are talking about today. And today it's about how to boost your business, how to attract and retain customers. I want to welcome you, and I also want to let you know, as Tom has already mentioned, I'm watching the chat. If you've got questions or comments or things you need clarification on, just go ahead and drop it in the chat. I'm watching everything live right there. And so if it's a question about something I had just spoken about, I'll answer it right away. But don't be shy if you've got some other things on your mind that are related to today's topic. As Tom mentioned too, we will reserve some time at the end to answer your questions live. Okay. So with that said, I'm going to drop this opportunity for you to get the deck. SCORE will send a handout to you in the next several days. You'll be able to get access to all of the slides I'm showing and a little bit more if you go to this URL. And Tom, I'm going to drop it in the chat if you could forward that along to everybody else, because what you and I are sending only goes to ourselves.
Absolutely. We'll do that.
Thank you. So on this one, I actually have a bonus. I did, as Tom had mentioned before, I do lots of webinars for SCORE, and I did one a couple of nights ago. And so what I've done in this particular link is provided a double deck. So you'll not only get the slides from today's presentation, but also one that I did a couple of days ago, specifically on email marketing. It was called the Email Marketing Quick Start. All right, let's get things underway. And by the way, click that link while it's there in the chat. That'll open up a window for you, and you could fill it out right away or wait till later, but at least this way you'll have it so that when the webinar concludes, you'll still have it open on your desktop inside a browser window. If you're joining us for the first time, joining me for the first time, you know that I love to ask this question, which is, why are you here today? And I'm pretty sure I know the answer. It's that you want to make more money. So if that's you, you're in the right place. So let's help you make more money. Now, I know that your time is valuable, so I'm going to recommend that you remove all distractions because we're only together for a very short amount of time. So you may be getting texts and you may be tempted to check email. Trust me, all of that will still be there when we get done. Make sure you put your questions in the chat. Now, to get the greatest benefit out of this session, you get a copy of the presentation, and this is how you do it. You click that link that Tom dropped in the chat box. If you're more inclined to scan QR codes, that's where you get the deck as well, or on my website at that URL. All right, are you ready? If you are, put a yes in the chat box. Let's see who's first. Kimberly and Aaron, quick on the keyboard. Okay, let's go ahead and get started. Finding new customers and supporters can be a really big challenge for small businesses and nonprofits. If you've been in business for any length of time, you know exactly what I'm talking about. So let's take a look at a few stats. 60% of small businesses say that attracting customers or clients is their biggest challenge. For nonprofits, it's a little bit smaller than that. 50% struggle with attracting new supporters, and 35% of businesses struggle to turn their visitors into customers. But in today's world, it's not enough for prospective customers to simply find you online. You need to capture their attention and then engage them in order to first turn them into customers and then eventually into loyal, repeat customers. You know, there's a lot of data out there on doing business online and in person. And did you know that it costs 7 times more to find a new customer than to do more business with an existing customer? So that's a vote for making sure that when you have someone who's decided to do business with you, that you continue to engage them so they're not out there looking for somebody else who does what you do. So this is why today I'm going to talk about all the essential strategies you need to help prospective new customers find you and how to nurture and engage with them all the way along to drive them to do business with you and then continue to do business with you. All right, here's what I'm going to cover: the foundations for ensuring your online visibility. I'll talk about how to rethink your social media efforts to get engagement that really does drive results. And then how to drive business through your owned channels. And I'll distinguish between what you own and what you don't own in a few minutes. Tom gave you a quick synopsis on my bio. I'm a 40-year marketing veteran. My name's Ken Countess. I've worked for 4 Fortune 100 companies. You see a few of the logos down below on this slide. I've been a SCORE presenter for about a decade, got a podcast. I'm Constant Contact's authorized local expert for our area. I've been a partner for well over 10 years. If you're on Alignable, maybe we know each other from there too. I'm what they call highly recommended and was named a Business Person of the Year. Now, I see somebody drop something in the Q&A. Go ahead and redrop that in the chat. That's what I'm looking at. My name is Ken Countess. My company is kenisemail.com. And those yellow arrows point to information that's at the bottom of every slide. So you can visit the website, give me a call or text at that number. That's a direct line, by the way, or drop an email to me. Once again, you don't need to struggle to scribble all of that down. It's at the bottom of every slide. All right, let's get started. Let's talk about the foundations for ensuring your online visibility. Really, it just comes down to getting found online when people go looking. Now, they may be looking for your organization specifically, or maybe they're searching for what it is that you offer. You just want to be sure you're getting found either way. And there are several things that will come up in a search result when someone does a search online. At the heart of that is going to be your mobile responsive website. Now, sometimes people will say, I have a Facebook page. I don't need a website. But a website's important because that's an asset that you own and you have control over. This is your online hub where you want to link back to and a lot of the other tools that I'll talk about today. And if you don't have a website, they're super easy to create. There are lots of great tools out there. You may be familiar with Wix or Squarespace. They make it very, very easy in order for you to generate sales. Alan, yes, go ahead and send me your question. Use the email address that's at the bottom right of every slide. All right. Okay, so let's move on. Let's talk about links to your social profiles and how those can show up in search results. And I'll talk more about social media in a few minutes. Now, it's really all about content. Content is what fuels your digital marketing. To get found online, it's a good idea to add a blog to your website where you're answering the questions that people have. Content is what people search for. That's what they consume. That's what they share online. Fresh, relevant content that aligns to what your audience is searching for. A blog is great for answering questions that your customers are asking too. You don't have to get hung up on stuffing keywords for the purpose of ranking. Provide insight. Answer questions. What are the kinds of questions that people ask you all the time? Those make for great content in a blog. And the great news is that this type of content starts to fuel the other areas of your marketing, the social posts, email, and so on. Aaron's asking, do we need to be on all platforms at one time? No, absolutely not. You simply want to be on the platforms where you know your audience is. So if you're a B2B business, for instance, you might consider LinkedIn. If you're more consumer oriented, Instagram and Facebook may be best. There's also, of course, TikTok and then X. We don't have time to go into each one of them in great detail during this session. You're welcome to pop me an email and we can set up a time to chat. But no, Aaron, you don't need to be on all platforms at the same time. The reality is that most people just don't have the time to do an effective job on all the platforms. So start small, just pick one. Pick the one where you know your audience is already. Now, tool number 4, that's listings and review sites that do show up these days in search results. You're probably very familiar with Google reviews. You may know about Yelp. There are several review sites. If you're in medical profession, healthcare, there are different sites that people go to find reviews on providers. Be aware of which ones are most relevant to your type of business. Those are the ones where you want to have your business listing up to date. And when people provide reviews, be sure you respond to them. Thank them for leaving you a review. And if it turns out that the review is not as positive as you would like, be apologetic. Let them know that you'll do your best to provide great service and invite them to connect with you so you can make sure they are as satisfied as possible. So the listing and review sites are important things that people will find when they do any search online. At the very least, claim your Facebook page, your Google business listing, and your Yelp page. And as I mentioned, other sites that are relevant to your industry are important as well. Think about TripAdvisor if you've got a restaurant, or Health Grades if you're in the healthcare industry, for example. And the big thing with these sites to get found is that you want to ensure that the information is up to date and consistent. And when I talk about SEO in a few minutes, if you're not familiar with that acronym, that's Search Engine Optimization, it's important to know that search engines look for consistency in how you list things like your address and phone number. So if you're using abbreviations or parentheses in your phone number, they should be consistent. And I'll be talking about getting down to the smallest details in how you fill out your profile. An important part of attracting new clients or supporters comes down to attracting them with fresh reviews on a regular basis. Asking for reviews should be timely. So when someone has done business with you, simply ask for a review. Don't send a blanket request and try to get 100 reviews in a day. That's not good. Email is a great way to follow up after an interaction or a purchase to ask for the review. Provide a direct link to where they can write a review. Don't use a link for Yelp, but you could drive people to your Google profile, to your Facebook page, or another site that's important to your industry. Search engines look for those that have recent reviews, and so do consumers. The thing that ties all of this together is SEO, or search engine optimization. SEO helps you rank higher in the search results organically without paying. Now, SEO is the process of utilizing keywords to help you rank properly, but you need those basic things at a foundational level first to start tying all of these things together. So focus on keywords in your content, on your website, and in your profiles that your audience might use to find you. Answer the questions that your audience has. And when you're thinking, how long will this take to get results? When you have the foundational pieces to get found online and you add on SEO, it can take a few months to see the results. Bottom line is you're looking for more traffic. And if you need some help with this, you can start with the SEO tool that's in many email marketing platforms. They scan your website, they provide recommendations. Constant Contact has a great one. I recommend that you try it. In a few minutes, I'll give you a link that'll offer you a free trial so you can see exactly how it works. There's no credit card needed. Not trying to sell anything. Now, tool number 5 is using paid ads to amplify your efforts. So what does that look like? Well, once you've got all the essential pieces set up, you can add another layer and amplify your efforts with paid ads to reach and attract even more people. Google ads, they help you get found in search more easily, and they drive more people to your website. Facebook and Instagram ads can also help you attract more people, and they can help you target more of the right people. Now, the thing to know is that SEO, as I mentioned, takes a few months to really get the kinds of results you're looking for. And there are many firms out there that you can pay to help generate SEO content for you and help you with your listings. And what they charge is all over the map. You're going to get some companies that say we'll do it for $100 a month. You'll get others that are in the $2,000 to $3,000 to $5,000 a month range. My recommendation is that you invest accordingly. The $100 a month type SEO businesses are not going to do you a good service. They're trying to cater to lots of people with an attractive price. You want SEO content that's specifically for you and your business. And there are very few people that are going to do that kind of work, do good work for just $100 a month. So I will not recommend a specific company, but what I can tell you is the ones that have the higher ticket price are probably going to be the ones that will do you a better service. Either way, it's caveat emptor. Do your research before you actually open up your checkbook. The thing about ads, and the reason why ads become important, is because you can get ads running on Google, on Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn right away. So if you have engaged a company to help you with your SEO, while they are working on refining your SEO content, and until the search engines actually find you and raise your ranking, the ads get you immediate visibility. Let's move on to talk about how you want to rethink your social media efforts to drive more engagement. Social media is often misunderstood. So instead of hoping to go viral, consider it as just one part of your overall strategy and engage in specific ways to get seen. The thing about social media is you're competing with an algorithm, and engagement is the key to success here. People don't always see everything. The algorithms will control who sees what you post, how often they see what you post. And the other thing too about social media, as you probably know, if you use social media at all, personally or professionally, if something is posted to a social feed, the greatest activity, meaning engagement, links, comments, shares, that happens within the first couple of hours. After that, it's essentially dead content. But let's talk about 3 keys to social media success and how you can rethink what you might be doing to capitalize on engagement that helps you to get seen and build the relationships that are so important in today's world. First up is about that engagement piece that I've been talking about. Ask questions. These are tools, but you could just use just even a simple question in a post. You might want to ask a question with a poll. Ask for their opinion. Ask for feedback. All of these are great ways for you to get additional social engagement. And the more people engage with you, the more likely your content is going to be seen. So drive engagement by asking fun questions too. You want to create moments where you get people to participate and engage. And what's best? Being fun about it. Where you start to show the human element of your business. So take some time to ask fun, relatable questions. And it doesn't always have to be a serious question relating to what you do. My colleague Gabby does photography on the side, and she recently shared a post about how her son spent just 2 minutes in the snow. Of course, this was a few months ago. We're doing this event in late June, no snow on the ground anywhere near where I am. This was a great way for Gabby to engage people and get people talking and sharing and engaging. And it allowed Gabby to use her photography, but in a different way that's not promotional at all, but it's relatable. And that's something that gets people talking. Another example here is the candy corn example. Candy corn is either one of those things that people love or hate. Everybody's got an opinion. The other way to get engagement is to think about groups. When you capitalize on engagement with more personal connections, one of the best way to do that is by utilizing groups. Connect with your audience in ways that you can't do on a business page. It's more personal. It allows you to get to know people. I live in a community that has an HOA, a homeowner association, and our social media coordinator does run polls and asks questions. More people see it, they get engaged, and as a result, the content shows up in their feed more frequently. Aaron's asking, is engagement personal or professional important? The answer is yes, both personal and professional. Do it for both. People do business with people. That's an important thing to remember. So even on your personal page, try to engage people. On a professional level, do it as well. I say this to my 3 sons all the time. People do business with people. It's their mantra. And you know what? That has helped them get better engagement personally and professionally, has helped them become more successful. So find local groups for your city and community. You can find topic or industry groups and get involved. Find out where your target audience is. It doesn't need to be directly related to what you do. So be helpful as compared to promoting. Share resources to answer questions. Be as engaging professionally as you would do personally. You're building relationships online, just as if you were meeting someone face to face. Follow the rules of the group. You can't directly promote your business. Participate by answering their questions. And if you have resources, people to help you get more visibility online, create a group that you own. You can use that as a focus group and allow people to get to know you there as well. Let's move on to key number 2, which is to entertain your audience. This is where you want to show a more fun side of your company and give your brand a personality. It's so important to let people get to know you and let them know you're human. This type of stuff creates natural engagement for your audience, and that's great for helping you get seen. And when you generate this engagement on posts like these, the next day you could share promotional information as you're more likely to be seen by these people since they've already been paying attention to your content. Far too many posts today simply sound too formal versus a person just having a conversation. And this is where you want to get personal. They call it social media so you can be social. You could share things in your day-to-day that are relatable. Maybe it's a photo of a relatable mess you have when you're working on a project. Talk about what you're doing behind the scenes or something you personally enjoy about a holiday or something like that. It could even be mistakes that you've made in the day-to-day. For example, a garage door business. Sometimes one of our workers will take his dog for a ride to a job when the weather is not too hot. And so we share some photos of that and how she is our new supervisor of the day. Recently, we did a coffee taste test with employees. Christina, I see your note that the slides are frozen. I'm actually watching this presentation on my phone. Things are running fine here. So if you're having difficulty, you can always log out and log back in to help reset or close some other browser windows that may help you as well. Let's move on to key number 3 for social success. And this is all about being helpful and providing value to your audience. It's not just about sales. Stay top of mind. Answer the questions that people have. Provide resources. Be a helpful guide. Christina, good. I'm glad you got it fixed. Blog posts and articles are great. Offer quick tips. For example, maybe you own a flower shop. Share how to keep flowers lasting longer. Maybe you have a garage door business. The snowstorm is coming a few months from now. And provide tips on what to do if your garage door is frozen to the ground. Common mistakes, those are great things to post. Let people know ways that they can do better at what they're doing with your product or service. Or maybe offer up a tip of the day relating to your industry. I have a client who has generated an amazing amount of business by hosting a Facebook group and just offering a tip of the day. She has grown her business tenfold. It's amazing to see what she has been able to do. The last thing I'll touch on about social media is to amplify your efforts with those paid ads, because in so many cases, you can reach more of the right people with ad targeting. So once you find your high-performing content, turn that content into paid ads, and that will help you extend your reach. You could consider a lead ad that helps you grow your mailing list in exchange for something like a coupon or a piece of content, or a click ad that's designed to drive traffic and sales to your website. When people are finding you online and they're interacting with you on social media, eventually you want to start to move people to your owned channels. Email and text so you can continue building relationships. Imagine a scenario where you only engage on social media and the platform goes down or they change the rules. Facebook and Instagram are famous for having done that. It has happened. So you have no way then of communicating with your audience if a platform goes down or they change the way they present content of their members. So that means you want to move people to your owned channels. So what you'd like to do is when they're engaging with you on social media, ask for their email address or phone number. I know that on Instagram, you may or may not realize that you can't put a link in an Instagram post that people can click on in order to provide you with information or in order to join your mailing list. For that, you might want to use a tool like Linktree and put a link in Instagram's profile, your business profile on Instagram. That's where you're allowed to put a clickable link, and that's how you can capture people's email address. You can ask for that on Facebook and LinkedIn, by the way, in your posts. So one of the great things about owning your channel using email marketing is that email marketing's ROI, the return on investment, is $36 back for every dollar you spend on average. That client I mentioned a few moments ago, she gets $150 back for her email marketing campaigns for every dollar she spends. She has grown from a relatively small business at $50,000 a year every year for 4 years when she was using Google Ads. She started using email marketing and her business blew up in a good way. She wound up generating $750,000 by just using email marketing. She dropped Google Ads. I had asked her how the ads were working for her, and she said it was like flushing money down the toilet. So she moved over to email marketing. She's living quite comfortably these days. So why would someone join a mailing list? Well, you want to come up with an offer or a reason that people will subscribe. Aaron's asking, hey, if you put stuff on your social pages, doesn't that crowd the page and distract from the page? No, it doesn't. You don't want to take up the entire page, and you won't anyway. You could put a link up in the cover photo. You could have a link in your profile. But remember that social media posts only have a very short lifespan. So even if you post it today, by tomorrow, most people won't even be able to find it unless they've been consistently engaging with you on your page. So why will people join a mailing list? The first reason is people are looking for promotions and discounts. So you might have an offer of sign up to our mailing list and you'll receive 10% off your next product or service. People look for exclusive content. This is a way that I attract people to my mailing list. Join our list and you receive a free checklist to help you, whatever it might be, live a better life, make more money, drop weight, whatever your business might be. And then to show support. If you're a nonprofit, let them know how they can support you. Capture their information with sign-up forms. You can add a form to your website. You can share that form's URL on social media, in your profile, or in your timeline. And maybe you're not such a big fan of social media. Your work email signature can have a link to have people join your list there too. Now, once they join your list, you want to welcome them at a time when they're most engaged. When someone gives you their email address, they're highly engaged with you. So it's important that you start communicating right away to capitalize on that momentum. Any great relationship starts with communication. That's true in person, it's true online. And this is where, at the very least, a welcome email comes into play. Ideally, I suggest a series of 2 emails. Email number 1 might be offer a coupon or some sort of content to get them to sign up. You fulfill that right away electronically and welcome them. Let them get to know you and what to expect. Then email number 2 might be to invite them to stay in touch with you online, connect with you on social media. That email might be sent 3 days later. Then you can consider adding a third email to the series with more business information, things to know, share business info or hours of operation. For many businesses and nonprofits, they may need to nurture those leads even further, and that's where a nurture series comes in. Aaron's asking, isn't that multi-level marketing or spam? No, Aaron. What makes it spam is when someone says, you're sending me stuff I have no interest in, and they unsubscribe. But if you're providing information that got them to sign up in the first place, they're going to stay engaged with you. In other classes, I teach about how often you should send emails. But when we think about people signing up for your list, they've signed up because they found something of value in your post. Sign up and you'll get a free download on how to, you can fill in the blank. Or if you're a restaurant or other service provider, click here and join our mailing list and we'll send you a coupon worth 10% or 20% off your next purchase. And then you follow up to invite them to follow you on additional social channels. Nobody will turn away from offers like that. For many businesses and nonprofits, they need to nurture those leads even further. And that's where a nurture series comes in. Think of it as a continuation of your welcome series. The next email may talk about the features and benefits of what you offer or what your nonprofit cause is about. Then share a client testimonial or some press about your business. Later down the road, you ask for the sale or donation. The important thing is to pay attention to your audience in these beginning stages. Pay attention to where people are clicking in your email, what their interests are, and you could determine that based on what they click on, and that will enable you to continue to send them more relevant messages so you can move them further down the food chain, if you will, down the funnel. And at that point, you can begin to offer offers. So we're at a good place. I'd like to start to wrap up so we can get to the questions coming in, and I'll do a quick demo for you so you can see firsthand how all of this stuff can work for yourself. You can set yourself up for success this year with your prospects by making sure that you've got those foundational things set up for people to find you. Your website, your listing and review sites, social media, content that answers the questions that people have about what you offer. And remember that that content can be repurposed and shared in your other channels. Rethink your use of social media to engage more, provide value, and entertain people or groups. And then, of course, move people to your owned channels. Those are email and text. In just a moment, I'm going to offer you a demo so you can see exactly how all of this stuff works. I know a lot of people are stuck. They get writer's block. So here's a quick way to understand how you can overcome writer's block quickly and easily.
Sometimes, the only thing more difficult than running a business is finding the right words to market it. Lucky for you, our new AI content generator doesn't sweat words. Just tell it what you want to create, enter a few details, click Generate Content, and in just seconds it'll give you options to build from or leave as is. Writer's block? Not anymore. With artificial intelligence doing the wordsmithing for you, you can craft the perfect message in the blink of an AI.
And what I'm going to show you here, I'm going to switch screens here for just a moment. I'm going to show you how you can actually overcome that writer's block. If you're familiar with any of the email marketing services, several of them now employ AI. Constant Contact, as one example of companies that does that, has ChatGPT built in, so that you don't have to think much about what kind of content to write, it'll actually write the content for you. One of the things I want to share with you, though, is how you can use automations to help you generate your content. But not only that, but also maybe you want to do things like grow your SMS list. Maybe you want to text people on a fairly regular basis, but you don't want to have to be a slave to your computer. Or maybe an anniversary SMS. And anniversary doesn't have to mean a wedding anniversary. If you own a health club, for example, it might be that the system will automatically send messages out for you congratulating someone on being a member of your health club each year on their anniversary date. Or maybe you have a restaurant and you can use the automation to automatically send out a coupon in time for their birthday. I had a birthday last month, and it was wonderful to get emails from restaurants that I patronize offering me a free dessert or a free entree. There are other kinds of automations that you could do as well. You may have an online store. Maybe it's Shopify or WooCommerce or Wix or Squarespace. You can actually have these automations set up to remind people if they've left stuff in the shopping cart. Or maybe they're inactive and you want to win them back. These are automations that are pre-built that'll allow you to cater to your customers without having to be a slave to your computer. There are lots of templates already built in. Let me show you, though, how you might actually do something simple, like create an email. So what I'm doing here, and by the way, I'm inside a demonstration account. This is not the account that I use to send out emails all the time. Very simply, we just say create an email, and it'll come up with a variety of templates. Constant Contact has over 400 templates that are created that you swap out the content and make it your own with your own logo and content. I have it set up here for landscape services. Or maybe you're a veterinarian and you have an animal adoption event coming up. We've got it already set up for you. All you need to do is swap out the generic content and plug in your own. One of the great tools that I really love using, and here I'll pick up on an email that I created a few months ago. This was actually for a SCORE Broward webinar. And here I offered up a way to schedule a free call with me, a way for someone to sign up for getting some free help. The reason that I bring this up is maybe I want the system to write content that's better than what I was able to write on my own. So this is the content I wrote, and here I can go and say to the system, hey, rewrite that content with AI. So I'm just going to highlight what I already wrote and say, write it with AI. And you could see here, it's dropped that content in this box here. I'm going to ask it to create, and it's working some magic. In a very short amount of time, it'll come back and say, here's what we recommend. So here you can see it's created brand new content. All I need to do is click insert, and it's dropped right in. You always want to check your emails and make sure they're correct, right? So Constant Contact's AI will actually check for errors and make sure that everything you've done is correct. And here you can see I'm good when it comes to the from name and email, and the links and the buttons are good. It's got a recommendation on the subject line and on the pre-header. And one thing you always want to do is send a test to yourself. And here you can see the way the email looks on a desktop if someone were to open it on their computer or on their mobile device. I hope this quick demonstration was helpful and gives you a sense of how you might be able to quickly and easily create emails and create automations. Let's go back and finish up the content that I had intended. Let's go here and here and here. So if this is something you're interested in, if you would like to see how this can work for your own business, Tom, I'm going to drop this link in the chat so we can make it easy for people to check it out on their own. I'm just going to write this myself. I'm not the best typist in the world. There we are. So Tom, if you wouldn't mind just copy and paste that and shoot it out to everybody that's on our call, that would be most welcome.
Of course, Ken.
Thank you, sir. This is totally free. You get a 30-day free trial. There's no credit card needed. You'll get a call from someone at Constant Contact to welcome you to the platform. And I just simply ask, if you're ready to take your business to the next level, then take action. Make sure you've scrolled up in the chat and that you get a copy of the deck. You can set up a free call with me. Go to my website and it'll take you to this page, and you get a 25-minute consultation. There's no sales pitch. I simply ask a little bit about your business. Here at SCORE, we are trying to help you grow your sales. And it's a free service, and I really encourage you to take advantage of it. My name's Ken Countess. My company is kenisemail.com. You can call or text me at the number that you see on screen. Let me see if there are any questions I had not answered. It looks like we've got everything covered. Alan, I saw your note. Go ahead and shoot an email to me and we'll set up some time to chat. Auntie owns an online boutique. Awesome. Let's see how we can help you generate more sales. I'll stand by for any additional questions. In the meantime, Tom, I'll turn it back over to you.
Thank you so much, Ken. I'll briefly replace your screen share with mine to invite our participants today to submit their questions, or even if they're interested in volunteering and becoming a SCORE mentor, they can use their mobile device to scan this QR code, or even visit our website, top right corner, score.org/Minnesota for more information. Again, Ken, thank you so much for taking the time to be with us today. We'll stand by for any questions from our participants, and a quick reminder to everyone who joined, you'll receive an email in the next few days with a replay link to the recording as well as a copy of the presentation.
I see a question from Aaron asking, can this work for nonprofit too? Yes, 100%. In fact, many nonprofits use email marketing and social media to help them generate more donations, get more volunteers, further their cause. So yes, 100%. And if you'd like to learn how to make it work for your nonprofit, just schedule a call with me and we'll make that happen. Once again, there is no sales pitch ever. Vivian, thank you. I appreciate the comment. You're welcome, Aaron. All right, we've got time for another question or two. So if you have anything on your mind, please feel free to drop them in the chat. We'll get your questions answered. Thank you for your kind comments, everybody. It's appreciated. If you're watching us live, I'm going to wish you a great weekend and a safe and happy 4th of July. And if you're watching the replay, thanks so much for joining us. If you joined us and watched it before the 4th, happy 4th to you. Be safe, everyone. I look forward to seeing you all again in the near future.
Thank you so much, Ken, and thank you everyone who joined our call today. You may disconnect.